Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back for another video. Today I wanted to talk about my coming out story, which is a very personal story that I have. I'm 27 now. The time that I came out from my parents, I was 21, 22. I think I was about 17, 18 when I came out from my friends for the first time. The reason that... Well, I can already tell that I'm like super nervous to make this video because I know this is going to be a very personal and maybe even a very, very, very emotional video. I was 11 when I was at school and we had this teacher. It was the most beautiful woman ever, and all the boys in the class, they were like all into her. They're like, oh, she's so pretty and she's so beautiful and this and that, and they're all really starting to pubering. I thought by myself, okay, she's nice, she's good looking, she has really nice hair, but that's it. Like, it's not really that I think she is absolutely sexy or whatever. And then we had this other teacher, a male teacher, and I thought, well, he is way more interesting, but it's probably because his classes and a teacher is better, I guess. I mean, it didn't really make sense for me. It did in a way, but I didn't really want to understand or realize it because I was just 11. So it took a while. I was 15 when I met two girls who were lesbian. Very tolerant family. They had both very hippie-ish parents. They really helped me by seeing a guy for the first time, which is actually a quite funny story because I never kissed a guy before, and I went out for a date with this guy and we went to the movie, and after the movie I brought him home and I wanted to go home. I was like, yeah, well, thanks for the great evening, bye. He was like, wait, you're not gonna kiss me? I was like, oh, well, kissing, how do you mean, what's going on? It was like, wait, you're prudish or something? And by that time I was 15 and I was like, what is prudish? No, absolutely not. Come on, come here. So I kissed the guy. It was really different for me. I came home, I called my friend and I was like, I'm never gonna make out with a guy anymore. This was so weird and this and that. But at the other hand, I was like, oh my god, this feels so good. We started to date each other for about 2 weeks and then we broke up. And like it kept on going like that. Like, I was seeing guys, but that's it. Like, it was really the discovering. When I was 19, I had a boyfriend for about 3.5 years. I'm not gonna talk about that. But it was a time that I was starting to come out to my friends at school and at this and that, and I was starting to become more comfortable with myself and accepting myself. Because as a child, I can remember, like, by the time I was starting to realize there was something different about me, I can remember I was laying down in bed and my mom, she raised me religious. I went to a Catholic elementary school. My mom was raised Muslim, so it was very complicated, but I can remember that as a child, I knew this was wrong what I was doing. I was praying in bed and I was like, dear God, if this is wrong what I'm doing, please take away my life because I don't want to be a sinner. And I think this was one of the hardest periods in my life, and I can definitely tell that it's getting very hard and emotional for me again. And I'm not gonna get like all emotional about this. I don't want to cry and save. But I cannot imagine that a child by the age of 11, maybe 12, is praying in bed for death to come. And I remember that there were a few times that I tried to commit suicide. I'm not gonna go into further details about this. I mean, it's something I left behind. The reason why, when I was 19, the boyfriend that I had back then, he was not out, he didn't plan to come out, and it was like not acceptable and not done. And he put me back in a closet with force. It was really hard for me because it was a time that I was opening myself up to the world and preparing myself to come out to my parents, even though I knew that it was going to be really hard for me. But still, I was trying. And he put me back in a closet. It lasted for 3.5 years. whatever, he was just crazy. I learned a lot. It took a while to recover, but it was a time that I started to discover myself. I mean, I was completely out to my friends, a part of my family, but not to my parents and the older ones of my family. I moved to the capital of the Netherlands, to Amsterdam. Because I was living over there, I was further away from my parents, from my comfort zone that I had here with all the conservative people that are always trying to put you in boxes. The people that are always like trying to get the worst out of you. I met this really wonderful person that really changed my life, and till the last day of my life I'll be thankful to him because he really changed my life. I got a relationship and we lived together. He was a big support to me. He taught me that family was really important, and he also taught me that having a partner was really important because they can really give you support. He helped me by coming out to my parents. So first I called my sister. I wasn't surprised. She was like, I'm glad that you told me, and I'm glad you opened up to me, and the only thing that I want you to know is that I still love you no matter what, because you're my little brother and you'll be that for the rest of my life, and I just love you and I respect every possibility, everything that you will do for being happy. That really meant a lot to me. And because I'm really close by my older sister, my younger sister, she already knew what I told her. It was just cheesecake. She hugged me and she was like, yay, I'm gonna have 2 brothers now. So that was really cute. But then I had my mom. I tried to tell my mom, but it just didn't come through her head, and it was like, okay, whatever. And it's just ignorance, because she didn't want to admit the fact that her son was gay. She was still hoping that I was coming home with a woman and got kids and got a family or whatever, you know, all the cliches. One day I was really planning to tell my mom. I called my sister. I was like, I'm coming home this weekend. I want to talk to my mom, and I cannot go on any longer like this. I'm living together with my boyfriend. I have told everyone around me except for the important people around me, my mom and my dad, and all of the rest, it didn't really matter to me anymore because my friends knew, my colleagues knew, all the people in my new life since I moved to the bigger city, they knew, so it wasn't really a problem. I think one of my mom's friends' son, he got married, and she was like, oh my god, I cannot wait until my sweet Deniz is gonna get married and he's gonna get children as well. And she said that to my sister, and my sister said, Mom, please stop it. Stop being so stupid and ignorant. Just accept the fact your son is not straight. He's gay and he's gonna be happy with men. He lives together with his boyfriend and he will never be straight because he is not straight. Just put it in your head. And when she said that, I think because my sister said it for the last time, it made sense for her, and it was a huge shock for my mom. And I came home that weekend and she said the most disgusting things to me ever. I'm not gonna say it here in camera. It hurt me a lot. I had a fight with my mom, and I didn't speak to my mom for about a year. Almost a year. That's a really long time. It hurted me so much because whenever you come out to your parents, like the rest of the world, it doesn't matter. But the only thing you want to hear from your parents is, it doesn't matter, honey. The only thing that matters to me is your happiness, and I still love you no matter what. And she didn't say that. She said other things to me, and it hurted me a lot. After a few months that we didn't spoke to each other, my mom started to call me and texting me, and she was like, I want to talk to you. And I was like, no, I don't want to talk to her anymore. I mean, it's over. There are so many people in my life that tried to hurt me. There are 2 people that cannot hurt me, which is my mom and my dad. And she tried to hurt me. She said the most hurtful things that you can say to a child. Believe me, I had so much pain in me. I was broken. I felt lost. I finally came together with my mom because she said, I want to come by your place to see where you live, and I want to see the house of you and your boyfriend, and so we can talk. And I was like, okay, she's really making effort to see me. So she came to me. We spoke a lot, and at the end she said, I'm so sorry, like, I was raised with, my mom was, she's Muslim, what I said, but she was raised by nuns. Complicated story, but she said, this just didn't exist for me, and it was so hard for me to accept this, and I'm sorry for all the bad things that I said, all the hurtful things that I've said. Just realized that I had pain as well. I tried to understand my mom, she tried to understand me, and I think this really worked. It worked about a year and a half to get our bounce back as it was. I believe it's stronger now, and she's like completely cool with it. It took so much time, and she met my ex-boyfriend that I had back then, and they were laughing. She loved him, and she was all the time like, oh, when are you guys coming for dinner? So it really needed time for her to realize that a homosexual relationship can be normal as well. There is no ending of the tunnel because it looks like so insanely crazy. I've been there. My mom hated me. You're gonna be like, why are you not talking about your dad? My dad is really complicated. I have the most liberal and most free thinking dad ever. The only thing that he said, son, I love you no matter what, but please try to understand me. It's really hard for me to understand this. So don't ask, don't tell, but the only thing that matters to me is your happiness. He gives me so much love, and he talks to me, and also when I broke up, my dad was the first person that came up to me and started to talk with me and gave me advice and put me through the hard phase that I went through. And so I cannot blame him for nothing, and that's his choice by knowing but not wanting to know it, but still accepting me. My mom is like completely cool. She's like, okay, fine, this is my son and he's happy and whatever. The only thing I want now for him is his happiness. I felt the pain of losing my son. I felt the pain of not having a son anymore. I don't not want to go through that pain anymore, and I love you no matter what, and the only thing that I want from this point on is your happiness. I'm glad that everything is good now. I'm glad I came out and everything is fine, but I did it. And the only thing that I want to say with this is, even if it looks like an endless tunnel, it's gonna be alright. It's gonna get better. And start with your friends, start with your comfort circle, go to your outer space, because there are always people that are loving you. And look at me now. I'm happy with myself. I love myself. I accepted myself. I'm happy, and I can honestly say I'm happy, and my parents are happy for me, and I love my parents to death, and so do they, and everything worked out for me. So thumbs up if you like this video. Sorry if I got a little too emotional. I did my best to like cover it up, and thank you for listening to my story. Take care, bye.